So we're making the long, grueling trek across the Canadian and US border to meet some other vacant land investors. I'm going to be bringing some friends with me as well from here in Vancouver, which will be super fun. Just connect with a few others. So anyways, yeah, let's do this. All right, so I'm driving by my elementary school right here. I'm actually picking up my best friend in elementary school. He's going to be coming with me down to this event because he's getting involved with land as well. It's cool to be able to bring a childhood friend with you who is now in the same industry. Really excited about that. So that's my school, and I'm about to pick him up because he moved back to this area here in Vancouver. So we'll just pick him up right now. All right, here he is. He's coming up to the car right here. We got my buddy Gordon, all the way from my elementary school.
Hello, how are you?
We're gonna make our way down to Bellingham right now. How you doing, Gordon?
Good, how you doing?
Good, all right, let's do this. All right, we just made it through the border. Now in the state of Washington. So we're gonna stop by Costco first. I don't know what I'm gonna purchase there, but once we get there, we'll head over to the restaurant and meet the other land investors. So we'll see you when we get there. So we just got here. We're at the spot.
Yama
Pizza with Gordon here.
Hello.
And let's go meet the other land investors that came all the way from Canada as well. We just got here. We got everybody here with us. A small little group here. We've got Mitch all the way from Vancouver as well. We've got Zach right here. John, Gordon. You guys keep doing your thing, but I just want to say what's up, everybody. Not the biggest group, but an awesome turnout here with the rest of everybody here joining us from the Pacific Northwest. Anyways, we'll come back at you guys. All right, so we just finished up dinner. I've only got a minute left of battery while Gordon takes a washroom break here, but you know, even just a small meetup like that, you get gems. And I encourage you guys, you know, if you've got local people around your area that are into land, to meet up and have these kind of conversations. I certainly got a lot of gems out of that conversation with John, Mitch, Zach, Gordon. One big takeaway was simply cutting out the noise. There's so much that is going on out there that we're hearing, and you know, staying focused on what you're doing is so important. So cutting out that noise is hugely important, which I heard John talk about. And I also learned some stuff about Pebble from speaking to people too. So anyways, only got a few seconds left, heading up to the border. I'll see you guys back in Canada. All right, so I completely ran out of battery yesterday heading home from the trip, but it was awesome to meet up with a few land investors and actually primarily a lot of the Pebble users as well. So really good. And it's funny, you know, the things that you get from just meeting up with others and the things that you can share, the things that you can learn. It was a really great experience. We just shared pizza for a couple hours and, you know, chatted about our business, what's working, what isn't. And I even got some feedback about the product itself and, you know, how we can improve on certain things, like even announcing some of the features we have. So I thought that was incredibly helpful. All right, so one of the bigger takeaways I got from my buddy John there was there's just a lot of noise out there. So whatever, you know, event you're attending, whatever you're watching, you may feel like you're so behind and you're falling behind and there's just a lot of noise on different things that people are trying. You know, stick with what you're doing. I encourage you all to stick with what you're doing. Continue to take that step forward. It's the everyday work that makes the difference in your business. So it was really cool to hear that. I know how easy it can feel sometimes, not only inspiring, but demotivating coming out of, you know, listening to something or attending a conference or whatever it may be. So just remember, you are the one who's in control of your business. At the end of the day, you are going to craft out whatever you want out of this business. And ultimately, you know, what matters is yourself, not what others are doing. And yeah, it's just reassuring to hear other people feel the same way. I certainly feel the same way, you know, even although we're running a software in the land space, I feel the same way sometimes about even being in the software space. So anyways, I hope that's helpful. I really enjoyed that. I encourage some of you guys, you know, if you get a chance to meet up with others, to do so. It's a little bit trickier up here in Canada because we don't have a lot. But anyways. All right, so before we finish up here, I do want to share with you some of the quicker updates here that is happening behind the scenes here at Pebble. All right, well, let's talk about some of the exciting news. This week, we just launched our mobile app. It's finally out on the iOS App Store. So if you head over to your Apple App Store, you can type in Pebble REI and download our mobile app. One of the big things about the mobile app was just being able to have phone access. Now, this is an Android phone, but when I'm talking about phone access now, when you get calls, you can just pick up like a native call on your mobile app. Not only that, you have a lot more notification control. So you may not want the call, but somebody on your team will get the call. You can toggle all that on and off and control the notification inside of Pebble now, and that'll also work with your mobile app. And guess what? We're stepping into Q4. We just also finished planning for Q4. There was a lot of things that we reflected on in Q3 and the amount of things that we got across the finish line in Q3. All right, so here are some things that we did get done this past quarter. Better notification, call reminders. We now have action plan, quick enroll. We're really excited about that. You're going to be hearing about some changes coming up with some of the data inside of Pebble, which is really exciting as well. We also spent a lot of time on the workflow for lead management inside of Pebble, and there's so much exciting stuff we're doing with that to continue to streamline and simplify all of that inside of Pebble. Now, Q4, I can't reveal everything that we're doing, but make sure you stay tuned to us on YouTube here. So if you're watching this through YouTube, make sure you hit the notification icon, and before even that, you need to subscribe to this channel. So make sure you do subscribe, because every single month, Kevin and I go live and we share what is coming out. I'm really excited. Just that's all I gotta say. There's some pretty big fundamental shifts that are happening inside of Pebble that is coming out this quarter. And by the way, if you're not doing quarterly planning, you definitely need to look at doing quarterly planning for your business. If you haven't heard of the book called Traction by Gino Wickman, and make sure you grab that. Now, it really talks about planning your business in sort of a 3-month cadence. So again, quarterly across the year. 90 days just seems to be a really good amount of time for a team or a person to just focus on a couple things before they burn out. And then after 90 days, you can sort of revisit, readjust, pivot if you need to, and figure out what are those next major milestones to work on the next quarter. Not only that, 90 days is a great span of time to just really hold yourself accountable, and it's not too long, neither is it too short. And finally, reviewing things on a quarterly basis is a good amount of time. It's quick enough to make any adjustments. If you did this, every 6 months or even just once a year, you're not going to be able to react quickly to some of the issues that may eventually end up snowballing. Big takeaway here from this week is just to stay focused. There's a lot of distractions going on. You are coming into the final quarter here. One thing I will warn you about is that around after Thanksgiving, things start to slow down with marketing. If I were you, I would plan ahead for the new year or continue to string things along during the holiday time. There are ways you can stay on top of people's mind. Think about Christmas cards. Think about revisiting some of the people. Think about the communication that you have with your leads, being that it is the holiday time, and it is a great opportunity to keep yourself out there and on top of on top of seller minds or even buyer minds as well. So my takeaway for you is, again, stay focused. Stay away from the noise, do what you're doing that's working, and continue to take steps forward, especially when people are slowing down this winter season. All right, I'll catch you guys on the next one.